Okay.
I do. I was gonna say, like, despite the FaZe's success and this run they had, they should fully rebuild and
fully. So we're not even just taking 1 or 2, but with ripping
3 at least.
Ooh! Mate, that is a hot take, okay. Bro, everyone else right now is like, can we even take one person out? You're just going to rip 3 people out. You're going to go, thanks, but no thanks. Get the fuck out the door.
I mean, yes, should we say that, like, they showed, like, fucking good playoff run? Yeah, but what happened, like, the whole year? Like,
oh, no, by the way, I'm with you. Even look, I'm the biggest FaZe fanboy of all time. Even I didn't believe in them because they were walking on water in that fucking playoffs, guys. Like, by the way, in a fucked up way, it's almost good they didn't win because I think it would have set a bullshit precedent that you can just do nothing for the whole season and then just turn up and win the major.
Win the fucking
you know what I mean? I think that would actually be really bad for CS in a fucked up way.
Change Rain. Change Carrigan.
Oh, it's changing Carrigan too. Oh,
We have to. And then
tell you what, now I know why Kassad. You know what? You are actually a man of principle, Kassad, because I know why you turned down to work as the coach of G2, because that's the only team you couldn't objectively, ruthlessly cut everyone from. You'd still be going, oh, Hunter, good old Hunter. Damn it!
You know, there is.
Whereas, were you walking in a FaZe, like, right, gentlemen? I've just joined FaZe Clan. I respect you all.
Of the truth there.
The following people. I'm just going to read out the following list. We've got Frozen and Rops. The rest of you can leave. Pack your lockers. Get the fuck out. What the fuck? Like,
no, the thing
is, like, me as well. Yeah, get out. Bring it.
Shui,
come on in.
There is a fraction of truth there. The thing is, like, for example, for G2, if I was there with Hooksy, would be out insta first day. There wouldn't be like a fucking conversation. There wouldn't be like any kind of negotiation. It would be he would be out first.
Maui, it's the way he says that. Like, it's so reasonable. He wouldn't even give him a chance. He wouldn't even have a conversation. He would just walk into the facility like, hey, Kassad, hey, you're fired. But what? Get the fuck out. Like, no question. In fact, guards, you're like some fucking king in the ancient time. Guards, remove this man. Remove him from my court. Okay. You just fire him instantly. Okay. Who are we bringing in, by the way? Do you have someone in mind to bring in for this?
For FaZe? Yeah. FaZe? Shui, maybe?
Okay.
Shui would be a good option. Alexi would be a good option too.
Don't know if he's available, but okay.
Why? Is he unavailable?
I mean,
how the fuck would you know that?
Because I feel like you have to be loyal to fucking Na'Vi after they picked you up out of the gutter and then gave you Blade and then you won a major.
We've seen worse thing happen.
True.
But probably Shui. Probably Shui would be the number one option. Maybe even, I don't know. I don't want to say other names because people might think I'm extra crazy. But Shui would be number one priority for me together.
Oh
because
my God! What? Ah, fucking hell. Maui, just
this is why.
Just
for
fun,
I didn't want to say
for fun, try and guess. Do you think he was actually going to say something meant like Hampus or fucking Hunter's Nigel or something? What was it going to be? What
next?
What was it next? What was it?
Listen, no. I was thinking, not thinking, but it's like one of the people on the list. You know, I have like a list of candidates. Kickson from Heroic, right?
Carrigan has to leave this squad so Kickson can come in.
Why? Listen, we are changing the philosophy, Duncan.
Okay.
We're like the not winning philosophy, like the philosophy that has been outdated a little bit.
Right.
I'm not saying it's Kickson, it's just a list. And then you cross people off.
Okay.
And on top of the list is obviously Shui, right? The guy has played the major finals. He has created this, like, together with the coach, this fucking, Miles lineup. And I would probably also pick a coach for Miles as well to get there with him.
Cyclone, yeah.
That would be a initial idea for me, right? And then, like I said, Brokey and Raid. Brokey for multiple people, I guess. If you want to go really crazy,
just really star up as simple.
Yeah, there's a lot of simple. There is some pious. If you want to go a little bit less flashy or less, media fucking whatever. Somebody who can, or you can go somebody like like Liquid had in Ultimate. Not that guy, but like similar to that play they did with Brokey. But you don't have to go. There is a lot of offers out there that you can pick. Icy, Wonderful from fucking Navi as well. Like there is, there are offers right there. Monesi, you never know. So those are number 2, and the third option for Rain, that is the big one. That is that I'm not really sure who would fit into that role. Maybe a Leash. That's the thing. I would try to get Elige into that lineup, right? Because the Elige is still young. What is he, 26, right? Right now? 25, 26?
I will tell people, I'm not a big stats guy, but if you ever go and look at the stats on a Liege, when you then consider every player you'd be comparing him to has a way better set of teammates, it is unreal his stats this year, mate. They are actually bonkers.
Unbelievable.
They're impossible. When you
the guy's up there.
Yeah,
the team is just dog shit.
Yeah.
But I would, if I was FaZe, I would probably try to get him because he obviously wants to get out.
Yeah. No, he does. By the way, as far as I know, he would join. I believe he would join if he got the offer.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't? Like, everybody would join. The thing is, like, even the tweet he put out, like, saying, like, listen, this is my new agent, whoever wants to contact him.
You notice he's a European agent as well, by the way, guys. That's like a big fucking...
Yeah.
It's like a Belgian guy.
Like, contact him. I want to get out. Like,
exactly. Yes.
Such an obvious tweet.
Like, it was well done. It was well
done.
Get
him to FaZe if you can, before he goes to Falcons or something like that, right?
Yes.
The thing is, like,
and then what we'll do is, just to be fair, in 2 years, NAF's allowed to join FaZe also, and eventually everyone from Team Liquid gets to win a major, but only by joining FaZe after multiple years later. So that's the new meta. That's how we do it, boys. We're not winning them in NA, obviously.
Yes, I mean just once, but yeah. The thing is, definitely FaZe needs to rebuild, despite the success in Shanghai, which we can call a success.
By the way, I think that because of the major, I think that is a pretty big hot take. What do you think, Maui? What do you think of this? That's a pretty big hot take.
3 people.
Yeah, and Carrigan especially. No one else is replacing Carrigan, I don't think, so that's a big one, I think, mate. That's big.
I mean, I can't believe I have a take that they should replace Magix with Kaiosuke, but then I'm actually going to turn this one down. I think FaZe showed me at this year multiple times now that they really do just care about the prestige events, and they'll just be at those and go deep in them. And it does feel like, how are they just sandbagging every other event, but then they continue to do this? Also, a reminder is that in terms of playoffs, wait a second, they missed a couple this year. But they really didn't miss that many. It's just that they floundered once they got.
They usually just lost immediately. Yeah.
Well, you think I can tell you this as well. If you're FaZe, right, you look like this, like, 36-year-old tennis players, right? Rafa, Djokovic, Federer, who are only playing for these majors, like,
that's true.
Wimbledon,
if people don't know, at the end of their careers, like, for example, Djokovic in the middle of his career was the best ever at the ATP 1000, which is the equivalent of a normal S-tier event. But at the end now, you can tell he only gives a fuck about everything's about just win that Grand Slam.
Yeah.
He would give up every other. He won't even attend half of them if he needs to.
Yeah. The problem is, this is not tennis, and this is not an individual sport. It's a team sport. You have players like Frozen. Sure. You have players like Robs. Even Brokey is young-ish, right? And then they don't want to be only involved in runs on majors. Sure. They want to be involved in titles on IEMs and all these events, right? So that really cannot be the case for FaZe. They cannot become that team, like those tennis players. So they need to find a way how to be a competitor for the titles in the 2025, right? Rather than a team that's gonna maybe play well on the major.
Okay.
Anything
else, Maui?
Well, I have another take.
No, I have a response to that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right, my response to that is,
respond to it.
I do think that's too much of a hot take. Right, here's the problem.
Yeah.
I'm halfway, as usual, I'm halfway between, which is, I don't think actually, no matter what anyone says, right? First of all, here's why the take, I'm sorry, is whack of like, don't change FaZe. They didn't win the major. So what you're telling me is when everything seemingly went right, by the way, even Brokey, who'd been in like a month, for like a 2-month fucking slump, came alive in the playoffs. Rops, by the way, had like a fucking semi-finals that was like as good as anything from his peak year last year as well, but they like completely rolled the years back. Carrigan, it's like, I can't remember who it was who made this comment. Maybe it was like Freiberg or something. Have you ever noticed how the second Carrigan had like real fraggers? Suddenly all the mid-rounds just work and a genius again. Like, he was never a shit caller, guys. People just really were not killing people. He would make the call, the people would just lose the duel. And then you go down the line, Rain had like a few maps where, again, it was like unbelievable, some of the fucking ballsy duels he wins and moves he makes on the map, etc. It was ridiculous how all these people came alive. But the problem is, it took all of that and then they didn't win the major. So my problem is, when I look back, if you reboot that bracket and they start again against Vitality, I will bet on Vitality to win. If they make it past Vitality, I will then bet on them to win, on G2 to win. And if they make the final, knowing what I know now, I would bet on Spirit to win the final. I wouldn't even do I only did the one for FaZe because I thought maybe Spirit could choke in the final, or maybe the V2 will be crazy. I never did actually believe like FaZe is the favourite in that sense. So my problem is, you didn't, and that's that was your only event of the season where it ever all came together. If you ever have a look at the other ones, they completely floundered in the Cologne one where we thought they'd do this kind of run. Actually, they fucked it up to shitty Saw. I mean, fucking hell. So my problem is this. I won't make a big thing because I know people don't give a fuck about League of Legends, but this basically just happened in League of Legends where the team that won, this T1 team, was never actually the best any other moment before that, pretty much. Like, they would always have some other Korean team was better, or they'd lose in the like normal size tournament. But what happened at the World Championship is, did they play a bit better? Yes, like FaZe they did. But I also think what happened is you saw that some cores do just have incredible ability in the biggest pressure games. And that is the number one factor for FaZe. It isn't just Rops fragging out. It's stuff like everyone else looked like they played way more nervous against them. Like Vitality looked way worse. By the way, Nico had a terrible last map against them. Malbs had moments when he wasn't doing that awesome. Like everyone else level went down, and it's not that FaZe went above what it was before. They just went up a bit, and then everyone else went down enough, and they met in the middle, as it were. And it was, by the way, it was still really close. It was still really close to get all these matches won. So my problem is everyone else is doing the thing of like keep all 5. Definitely don't keep all 5. But my problem then becomes like I'll do one move. Doing 2s where I start to say who's the other player though. Now I need to know the player coming in. It can't just be I'm kicking. Like I wouldn't walk in like you first day 1, go you're both fired, and then figure out who I'm getting. I'd have to know who the 2 are. Because my issue is this. I'm sorry, the biggest issue, and this is I feel so bad saying this because it's just how unfair timing is. If you think of how the whole year went, until about something like 2.5 months ago, Brokey's one of the players that would be safe. He was their player of the year. He was the guy that did his job, and it was actually fuckers like Rops that were doing nothing. But because Brokey plays up, sadly, that's why I would kick him at this point. I'm sorry, he just isn't as good as the superstar up, as the Monesies, the Z-Woos. Also, like we're saying, if you really can get in, like, if it's Simple, by the way, I'm sorry, I would do that move immediately. Give Simple the Carrigan and put him in FaZe. It'll be better than Brokey's. And by the way, I'd even go the debatable one of some Pius. I feel like if you put some Pius in the right environment, he'd be big. He's also a big game player too, by the way. The obvious problem for me is the second cut is the one that felt obvious for most of the year, which was Rain. The problem is this. Again, it depends what the team setup is and where all the resources are going. Because I'll tell you what, if you do it like, if you're really fair to Rain, you can't just say compare him to like an aggressive rifler. Like I've said all year, I would put Exertion in his spot. The difference is Exertion does need resources and calls made for him. Rain is doing the opposite. He is taking no resources and providing space and resources for other people. So the problem with that is when I saw how Rain played, and the difference is I do think Rain's performance is replicable. He didn't go way above what he normally, he just did those baller games he does it for. So maybe I would do 2 cuts. I think 3 is slightly too far, especially because you're doing Carrigan at the end, bro. And that's the issue.
You would lose the Valve ranking points.
I also feel like, I'm just going to say this. Here's the difference. I do think you can change Twists out and put Frozen in. It can still have some of the essence. I think you change Brokey for Simple. It could still have some of the... If you take Carrigan out, it's not FaZe Clan anymore, mate. Now it's just Superstar Mouse.
Yeah, it's a new FaZe Clan. Absolutely. It's not the old FaZe. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, but that's the problem. I feel like most people like me also want it to still be FaZe, but have a chance to do what they did at this major and win. That's what we're all addicted to, is those sick calls and plays.
You want to replace Rain, somebody who creates space and doesn't...
I don't want to. I just have to.
But you have to, right? Nerds is out there. He's out there. You think he's happy in Heroic? I don't think so. He would join that FaZe team. He doesn't need resources. He's good at holding W and shooting people in the head. There he is, right there. So there are options, rather than just dragging this like dead horse for another year.
Sure. See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.